In your headlines, Tcrea Ambassador launches revolutionary mentorship program for Turks and Caicos. Her Excellency the Acting Governor Anya Williams chaired the 11th meeting of Cabinet, and a student from the British West Indies Collegiate has been accepted at the prestigious Harvard University. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providencial is your #1 source for news. I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Friday newscast right to your door. Newswatch starts now. The Turks and Caicos Real Estate Association has announced a pioneering initiative to shape the next generation of real estate gurus for the country. In a forum with local media, a dynamic group of industry stalwarts and trendsetters shared that local high school students aged 14 to 17 will now get a first-hand look at the burgeoning real estate domain here in Turks and Caicos through the Tcrea Real Estate Mentorship Program. Led by Tcrea Ambassador Mr. Trevor Musgrove, the initiative seeks to educate school leavers on the advantages of becoming a part of one of the country's foremost industries, which has seen remarkable growth throughout the years and has recently enjoyed record-breaking numbers even amidst a global pandemic. The committee is an impressive one and boasts a group of the most accomplished, internationally celebrated, and experienced brokers and realtors in the game. Blair McPherson of RE/MAX, Nina Sagenthaler, Manfred Smith and Richard Sanker of Sotheby's, Veronica Delancey and Deidre Gray of Keller Williams, and Sean O'Neill, Musgrove's partner in Turks and Caicos' newest real estate firm, The Agency. Sharing more about his decision to launch the initiative, Musgrove stated, "Mentorship is something I truly care about. As a boy growing up in North Caicos, I could never have predicted that this is where I would be. But I can tell you with certainty that I am where and who I am because of people who took the time to steer me in the right direction and when I shared my dreams and goals with them." He continued, "Each of the real estate professionals that have graciously volunteered their time to this initiative encompass what the spirit of this program is all about. Some of these individuals were the ones I looked up to and have emulated, and we will continue to do the same for more young men and women here in Turks and Caicos." Musgrove says that the program is much more than an introduction to an expanding and lucrative industry. It will allow youngsters to see the side of Turks and Caicos that appeals to the movers and shakers of the world. It is his hope that after going through the program, the teens will have a better appreciation of their country and will understand why it is a captivating and award-winning destination and why so many seek to make it a second home. The Minister of Education, Honorable Rachel Taylor, was also present for the grand announcement, proudly declaring the ministry's endorsement of the program. "I was delighted to receive Mr. Musgrove's communication that this mentorship program was being developed, as it aligns perfectly with one of the key pillars set in our national youth policy." She continued, "I understood that the group's initial plans were to share this opportunity with students on Providenciales only, for logistical reasons. I believe that this is an experience that should be extended to all high school students in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and I promptly requested that Mr. Musgrove disseminate this information to Grand Turk, North Caicos, and South Caicos, with commitment that my ministry will provide the necessary transportation for successful sister island applicants to travel to Providenciales for their in-person mentorship sessions. This program is indeed in line with our youth policy, which incorporates 7 pillars," said the minister. The Tcrea Mentorship Program will run from May to December of this year, culminating in a special retreat. Mentees will receive educational modules at the start of each month and will come together with mentors at the end of the month to engage in interactive sessions, putting their education to practice. These in-person sessions will take shape in office meetups, open house visits, and other exciting activities. Applications for enrollment into the program were sent to high schools just before the Easter break, with the final day for submission slated as Friday, April 29th, 2022. Musgrove says this first group will be capped at 10 students, as they wish to ensure a personal experience for all involved. He is confident the program will be continued by future Tcrea ambassadors and will grow in size from year to year. For months, residents have complained of flight delays and cancellations through Inter-Caribbean Airways. Now it seems the operators have found a resolve, which comes in the form of a reduction in their flight schedule. Newswatch has more.
of the day for months for Intercaribbean Airways, and residents have made their frustrations known. The consistent delays and cancellations have resulted in setbacks to major events. A few months ago, travelers saw the delay of flights to Grand Turk, where a church conference was taking place that included pastors and bishops from the Bahamas who weren't able to make it over to the capital for their event at the scheduled time. Then, more recently, the delay of the flight of TCI's Carifta athletes to Jamaica, which resulted in the team and their chaperones spending a full day's layover in response to a delayed flight scheduled for 9 a.m. that left later that night. Residents called the degree of service unacceptable. Now, airline officials have announced a fix, which comes in the form of a temporary schedule reduction. The changes come into effect immediately and will see reductions to in-flight schedules for up to 10%. They attribute the changes to increased labor shortages and a domino effect from shortfalls by some of their service providers, resulting in continuous delays and flight cancellations. Officials say the changes are temporary, however, are planned through for the next 2 months into June. Northern Caribbean services to Provo and Grand Turk will now have 3 daily flights, while flights to the Eastern Caribbean to places like Antigua will be suspended for the time being. Provo to Cape Haitian will be 3 times per week, and Provo to Port-au-Prince twice weekly. The Bahamas and Jamaica will also experience reductions. While these are not ideal measures for airline operators, residents hope that these changes will result in some resolve to the continuous streak of flight delays and cancellations, which has grown to be a major inconvenience to both domestic and regional travelers to and from the TCI, until a permanent and effective plan is put in place.
Don't go anywhere. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. Her Excellency, the Acting Governor Anil Williams, chaired the 11th meeting of Cabinet on Wednesday, March 23rd at the Premier's office in Grand Turk. Here's more. At the 11th meeting of Cabinet, we gather that all members were present and that at this meeting, Cabinet approved the estimates of expenditure for a Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2022 for submission to the House of Assembly to facilitate additional funding of the new pension scheme, repatriation of irregular migrants, legal claims against government, procurement of assets and land acquisition for government. Agreed the approved Provisional Warrant Resolution 2022 to 2023 to withdraw funds from the Consolidated Fund in respect of the recurrent expenditure for Part FY 2022 to 2023 to be advanced to the House of Assembly. Approved an extension of the timeline for completion from 3 to 4 years and final development agreement between the TCI government and BBF Cooperjack Ltd, The Strand, for the development of luxury residences and vacation villas in Cheshire Hall and Richmond Hill, Providenciales. Was updated on the National Health Insurance Plan of the Turks and Caicos Islands National Health Insurance Board as at 31st December 2022. Members approved for the NHIB to go outside of the established analogs to recruit and remunerate the change manager operations and change manager finance positions. Approved for the TCI government to host the Caribbean Examination Council governance meeting in December 2022. Approved the appointment of Trevor Cook as chairman of the National Insurance Board for a period of 5 years with effect from April 1st, 2022 until March 31st, 2027. Members also approved the PS Education or his nominee to represent the government in absence for the PS of Finance. Cabinet discussed the provision of official office space for the Leader of the Opposition. Approved the exemption of import customs duties for the importation of a vehicle for a named individual, similar to an existing policy which applies to leaders of churches. They approved the exemption of import customs duties for the importation of all-terrain vehicles by Tcrea Caribbean Adventures for the provision of excursions to cruise ship passengers on Grand Turk. Members also agreed for a revised policy in support of businesses working in the same sector. Approved the applications for Class A processing and export licenses from Caicos Seafood Ltd., Caicos Fisheries Ltd., DNA Fishing and Provo Seafood, and discussed Class B processing and export licenses for further discussion. Approved the extension of existing COVID-19 measures and protocols until April 30th, 2022, and the following amendments. A. Remove the requirement of obtaining written permission from the Chief Medical Officer or Chief Environmental Health Officer and written approval from the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources for any gathering or social activity, whether private or public, including on public beaches. Amend quarantine regulations requiring persons to self-isolate for 5 days if they test positive. Effective May 1st, 2022, only a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours will be required for visitors' entry into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and pre-travel authorization will be discontinued. Members also discussed the need for a COVID-19 strategy covering measures and entry requirements going forward. Noted a paper on the regional implications of the ongoing war in Ukraine and approved the application of a temporary visa regime for Russian and Ukrainian nationals traveling to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Finally, Cabinet was reportedly updated on issues related to the Ministries of Immigration and Education. We understand that further information on these matters is to be provided by ministers in due course. A student from the British West Indies Collegiate is eagerly awaiting the commencement of her studies at the prestigious Harvard University this year. Aralik Harvey has more.
With an acceptance rate of only 5%, Harvard University is arguably one of the most selective universities in the world. Jenna Hatman of the British West Indies Collegiate is a member of the successful percentile of this year's admissions to Harvard University, the highest-ranked Ivy League university in the U.S. In a release from the Collegiate, they detail Jenna's deep commitment to her studies and eagerness to excel across the range of subjects. Since she started high school back in 2015, she chose to concentrate on science subjects such as Cambridge International Advanced Level Mathematics, Physics, and Chemistry. She also has been praised for her ability to meet the demands of the work presented to her and seemingly relish in each task. She expanded her horizons by undertaking preparation for the American SAT exams. Her perseverance paid off and she earned a near-perfect score in her exams. As a result, Jenna has now been offered a scholarship to attend the Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. When it comes to her future ambitions, Jenna hopes to one day obtain a PhD in science, verging towards the field of physics and engineering. She hopes to undertake research in particle physics. Her fascination is rooted in how everything begins. Jenna said, quote, "I wish to express a heartfelt thank you to my family, teachers, and peers for all of their love and support over the years. I could not have done it without you," end quote. She also expressed that she will miss the TCI, but she also is keen to face all of the challenges that lie ahead. The Collegiate also left congratulatory remarks stating, quote, "Congratulations, Jenna. You do the TCI proud. The BWIC family wishes you all the very best in your future endeavors," end quote. Reporting for PTV Newswatch, I'm Alik Harvey.
Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
The Turks and Caicos Islands Basketball Federation Under-15 national basketball team engaged in a basketball tour of Jamaica that turned out to be one for the history books. The TCIBF president, Cyril Glasgow, head coach Mervyn Forbes, and Trevor Cook, Secretary General, accompanied the boys on what would be a successful outing for Team TCI. There were 5 days of competition that saw Team TCI emerge as the victors in 3 games. The 5th and final game was the most productive game for Team TCI, with balanced scoring from the whole team. Dylan Morris led all scorers with 17 points. He also contributed 7 rebounds. Judson Lacazette added 15 points plus 9 rebounds, 2 block shots, and 1 steal. Davari Daniel added 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And John Caesar added 7 baskets and 2 assists as they defeated their opponents 58-35. Dylan Morris brought the crowd to their feet and caused a 3-minute delay after catching a rebound in midair and dunking the ball with 2 hands.
I helped my team by playing defense and having them control the ball and getting rebounds for them. And my teammates helped me win the game by slowing the ball and listening to our coaches and sending good passes.
This was the first regional event for Team TCI since 2004. TCI will once again make a regional outing in June of this year when the 15 and under boys compete in Puerto Rico. For your Sports Authority, I'm Alik Harvey.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 75, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, scattered showers, high 80, low 74, winds east at 20 to 30 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 80, low 76, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 75, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, scattered showers, high 80, low 74, winds east at 20 to 30 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 80, low 76, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 79, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For Perrodin Pine Key on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 80, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 79, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 74, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 80, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Monday, scattered showers, high 79, low 75, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:19 a.m., sunset 7:15 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 8:14 a.m., 8:34 p.m., and low tides 2:14 a.m., 2:14 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more News Watch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to News Watch. The BVI's premier has found himself in some hot water yet again as he faces charges of drug smuggling and money laundering. Here's the latest.
Consultations have concluded and recommendations are in. The Commission of Inquiry report has recommended the suspension of certain sections of the British Virgin Islands Constitution for a period of 24 months. This after Judge Sir Gary Hickenbottom stated in his report that he found that corruption ran deep within several arms of the territory. His recommendations were as follows: a temporary and partial suspension of the Constitution, dissolution of the House of Assembly and cessation of ministerial government for an initial period of 2 years, an early and speedy review of the Constitution to prevent abuse of power by elected and appointed officials, curtail the open-ended discretionary power held by public officials, and the auditing and investigating of state bodies. Shortly after news of the arrest of Premier Andrew Fahy by the United States Drugs Enforcement Agency relating to drugs and money laundering, Governor of the British Virgin Islands, His Excellency John Rankin, provided an update to the people of those islands. In a press statement, His Excellency Rankin shared that it is his duty to keep the people of the BVI, informed, and as such, shared that Premier Fahy was detained in Miami on charges related to conspiracy to import a controlled substance reported to be cocaine and money laundering. Reports are that Premier Andrew Fahy was detained in Miami by U.S. agents posing as cocaine traffickers from a Mexican drug cartel. It is alleged that he agreed to a $700,000 payment to allow traffickers to use BVI ports with an undercover informant. Caribbean Loop News stated in their report that, quote, if a decision to suspend parts of the Constitution is taken, it will follow similar action taken by the United Kingdom central government in 2009 when a similar inquiry into governance on the Turks and Caicos Islands brought corruption practices of the government to light, end quote. The governor ranking will lead the government during the period of the dissolution of the House of Assembly.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated until next time.